That's cool. Oh, look at the hungry hippo.
Hi, it's Rachel with Topsy Turtle Thrifter, and this video is the second part of the video that I showed last week where I had gone to that big estate sale on the it was the Carriage Cafe that had shut down, and they had just so many antiques and vintage items, and so I was able to split that video in two. So what you saw last week was the first part where I was shopping, and then I showed a part of that haul afterwards, and then in this video will be the second shopping part, and I'll show the other half of that haul after this video. So stay tuned at the end to see what I picked up.
Fuzzy. That's cool. Oh, look at the hungry hippo. Just the coolest. Look at that. I'm just gonna video that. That's so cool. Horses with no ears. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna check that out. Well, cows. Wow, it's just oodles of stuff. Cute gift. I'm gonna get those two things on the end, I believe. I always see all these little serving pieces that I know they're missing the glass that goes in them, or the little spoons. I never find them in one piece. I'm wondering if the pieces are here somewhere. This place is so big, it's hard to tell. Oh, let's see the phone. Can I see the phone? Can I look at it? Here, let me see. Oh, and there's maracas and look, Noah. Noah. It's kind of dark, but it's blood china. Ooh, those are nice. Different sets. There's just oodles and oodles of stuff. Broken.
On the way to eat.
Yeah, we will. Oh, like this. This is a toothpick holder.
Mama, do you want some hand sanitizer?
I will in just a second. Yeah. Another little jar. Ooh, let's check this out.
That is not for Easter. Where I put my hand sanitizer. Let me see her head.
It has a little big chip in it there, so
Let me see your head.
I have to leave that. Oh, it has, oh, these are pretty. Ooh. There's so much furniture and cabinets here that
Jaden, she put hand sanitizer on her lunch kit.
okay. Ooh, transferware. Let's see what it says on the bottom. I don't know. These are pretty. There's a whole set. They're not marked, but I know these are, I can tell these are old, but they have a set of 12 for $20. So we're definitely, oh, look at this. That is so cool. I might try to get back here next weekend. See, because I'm getting a good bit today already. So look at these. Check out that wall. Give you all the cabinets. Look at the detail on this. Ugh. So pretty. This would have, oh, this bug. That would have probably had a lid, maybe. Butter dish. A lot of clear glass here. Decanters with no lids. I've seen lids, I don't know. Yes, oh, I like these. These are more modern, but wow. These are a little bit more modern, I believe, but those are nice. Yeah, it used to be a restaurant. Look at these. Corral. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Looks like about everything in here is for sale. All right. Looks like there.
Alright, so that was the rest of the video from that big estate sale that I had gone to a couple weeks ago. I believe that was the biggest estate sale I have ever been to so far. There's another one coming up this weekend that I'm hoping to be able to video. It's a huge home. I don't know, I can't remember what, or even if it said how old the house was, but there's a lot of antique furniture in there, and then there's some really, from what I've seen from the pictures, there's a lot of antique furniture and looks like glassware and things, and just you know, the house is full of stuff. So I'm going to try to get by there this weekend. Alright, so let's get started on the haul. The first thing I'm going to show, so this is a covered dish. I was going to show the bottom of it. It says Swinnerton's, Staffordshire, England. Let's see if I can get it to there. Yeah, this looks like a little bit of a black trim around it, kind of a decorative handles here, and then it has that decorative handle here, and then a yellow band here. When I looked, so I paid $8 for it. This is one of the ones that it wasn't labeled, so I paid, when I got up there she told me $8. When I looked it up online, I wasn't able to find the exact same one, but I found bowls with this brand. Now, I couldn't find any sold comps, but Etsy had a bowl in this brand, a different design, for $30. So I don't know if that's what I would get for it or not. So I picked up these. There were a set of three different sizes, and they are Pyrex lids. So the Pyrex bowls, there were no, I couldn't find any bowls. I looked around, but they sold me the set for $10, and I know that's worth it because I've actually looked for replacement bowls myself, and I've paid I remember buying one I think I paid about $19 for, and some of them, depending on your size, they can go for more. That's another one that the prices were all over, so I just did an estimate of, I think I saw a large casserole lid sold for $25, another at $19, and then some of the smallers were $6 and $7.99. So at 3 for 10, I think I did. That was a pretty good buy. Now, before I put these for sale, I might wait, because sometimes I find some Pyrex bowls that don't have lids, or I believe I may already have some that are needing lids, so I have to make sure they're the right size. But I may hang on to these just for that purpose to use, because when you put your lid and bowl together, you could get more for it. And then I picked up these. These are little white, like what do you call these? Like little restaurant wear or ramekins. They are all different. I mean, these three are similar, but they are different names on the bottom. This one is just marked USA. It's a little ramekin bowl. And then this one is a Homer Laughlin. And I didn't notice, they're dirty, so I just noticed this one has a little chip on it. So I don't know. Sometimes I use these myself, so I might end up keeping, see if there's any one that I want. But this is Cisco ware and Ultima China is what this one says. So they're just those real sturdy little small kitchen bowls that you could use for like use dips or you know, anything. So those will be a range of what they would go for, maybe anywhere from $3 to $4 to $6. Those might be booth items. I've actually sold a couple of those small bowls in my booth, and they usually go pretty quickly. I'm not 100%, but I want to say maybe she could have charged me about $1 for each one, but I'm not sure on that because I don't have a tag on that. I'm going to keep going with the glass. There's other stuff in here, but I'm going to keep going with the glass. So this is probably one of my favorite finds right here. This glass bottle and the lid. But it's thin. It looks like it would be a heavy, thick glass, but it's actually really thin. It has the Pontil mark. I paid $2 for it, which this is one I brought up. It didn't have a sticker, and I was actually surprised she only charged me $2 for it. I looked it up, and there are similar. They some like eBay and some online were calling it antique. Now I don't know this for sure if it is, but if I could believe that it was. The way it looks and made, it does look old, and I couldn't tell you what time period that is. So if anybody has any information on that bottle, you could let me know if you know about the time period. But I looked it up, and they had a similar, again, another one. I couldn't find the exact jar, but there was similar one for $24.99 on Etsy, eBay $35, and then there was a blue one that was pretty much just like this, but it was the blue glass, and it had sold for $45 on eBay. Now I know color makes a difference, so blue's a little bit more desirable, so it would go more. So I'm not sure, you know, this could be anywhere from $25 to $30, but I wanted to pick that up. And then this little jar was $3, and it's another little, I really don't know what you would use this jar for. I feel like it is older. It's marked UCB on the bottom. And the amber colored, it's a little bit heavier glass. Okay, so I really couldn't find a good comparison on this one. A lot of the ones that were, when I did the reverse Google lens to see if I could find any match, a lot of newer jars with plastic lids came up. So I don't know. I have no idea what something like this would go for. But so this guy, he's a glass squirrel. They had him tucked in a cabinet, and I just happened to see him as I was gathering everything else to check out. They didn't have a sticker on it, so the lady's like $6. She stuck it on there for me, and I was like, yeah, I'll take it, because I know squirrel items can be popular. It does have a made in Taiwan sticker that's kind of fading off here, and when I wash it, it might actually come off. I have to be careful with that. I did find an exact match on eBay, but it has me stumped because the one I found was it glowed green, like when you'd hold a black light up to it, but I tried my black light flashlight and this one does not glow. So they were saying that the one they had manganese in it, and they used the description on their listing said they used the 365 wavelength black light, and that it doesn't work under a 395 wavelength. So I don't know if that's the reason why mine doesn't glow. I may have to kind of do some more research on this. They had theirs listed for $75, but they sold it and took an offer for less than $75. And on eBay you can't see what the offer is, so I have no idea what it sold for. But their original price they started with was $75. So I don't know if he's worth that much or not, but I thought he was cute. He's holding a little net here, so I picked him up. Alright, and then there is, I think that's all the glass. Oh no, there's one more. There's this. It's a clear glass swung vase. It might be a little hard to see right now because it is dusty. It has a lot of dirt and dust on that. I paid $1, and this won't go for much. It's a little bud vase, but anytime I see a swung vase, especially if it's like a different design, like you see this squared bottom, I'll go ahead and pick it up. I do see in the light when I hold this up, it has some little fine chipping on the base, but so that one maybe $6 to $8. It's not going to go for very much, but I thought the design on it was a little bit different than some of the ones I've seen. So I picked it up. Now some of the stuff. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and show this. There's a lot of dusty. This, I'm going to have to stand up to show you. It's a vintage towel, and let's see if I can hold it up. Here we go. I didn't notice this because it was folded up when I grabbed it. It does need a good washing, but it's circus elephant and circus animals. And the reason why I picked it up is I had heard that vintage towels can sell well, and this one has an artist's signature here on the bottom. It's Annie Gauger there, and then there's a tag here. It's the Atlantis by Baxter is the brand of the towel. There. That particular, I could not find that towel, but I found the brand Atlantis by Baxter, the terry cloth towels. The two that sold on eBay were more of a rainbow colored. I couldn't find that design. And they sold, I bought that towel for $2. Those towels that were online sold for $18. So I have to clean this one. I have to make sure I can get all the kind of the dirt and stuff, the dust that's all in it. I have to get that out, and I will do more research on that and see if 18 is going to be a fair price, and see if I can find more on that artist's name, because when I did my searches a bit ago I couldn't find anything. I grabbed these. These are older vintage Christmas tags. You can see those. I paid 50 cents for those. I'll have to clean the package. It had this part, but it was loose, and I think it fell off somewhere along the way of getting it home. I don't know if I can find it. I'm going to look around and see if I stuck it in one of the boxes I carried in, or it could be gone. But the tags are still intact in the package, so I'll have to see what I'll end up doing with those. There's this little wooden box. Paid $2 for it. It appears carved and it's colorful. Like maybe, I don't know if that's paint or just different woods. So I couldn't find anything specifically on it, so I just grabbed it. I thought for $2, I thought it was pretty nice. I'm gonna clean it up and try it, see what it comes out like with a little bit of wood oil on it. A lot of times the wood, once you add that wood oil, it just just makes it glow and it looks so much better. So get that cleaned up. And I grabbed these. I think y'all might have seen these in the video. These are swizzle sticks or stir sticks. They're plastic. They say Jack and Coke, and they have America's cocktail here. So there were only 4. When I looked up online, a lot of times these sell better when they're in bigger lots. I could not find any of these that sold, but there are some listed. And there was a set of 10 for $18, and someone had just one for $11, which I wouldn't charge $11 for one stick. But I'm thinking maybe around $5 to $8 for the set of 4. And there is this. This is Pebbles from the Flintstones. She's a little cup. I can't remember. She may have charged me $1, and it says Yabba Dabba Doo. And on the bottom it is, it says it's the Hanna-Barbera products and Flintstones brand multiple vitamins. So I don't know if this would have been like a promotional item with the Flintstone vitamins, but there are other cups. So some of the other characters, and if you had them more than one, it would you would get better for it. But just her alone, maybe $3 to $5. Mine, I was looking a little closer. She is dirty. She needs cleaning, but she's not in the greatest condition. She does have a little scuffing on her nose and right here, so a little bit on her cheeks. But I'll see how much of that I can get cleaned up. Also, this is one I would have thought he'd have been worth a little bit more than what he is, but he's not as old either. He's from 1997, and I paid $6, and he's might be messed up also. I don't know. I wasn't sure what kind of bowl this was. I thought it was like a pet bowl, but it's, when you look it up online, they were saying it could be a candy bowl, which that would make a cute little candy bowl to set out. But let's see. Yeah, I think the one that sold was $9.99, so he won't be too much profit. And I have to see if I can fix him. He looks like the bowl's coming out a little bit. I think this is the last thing. This is just a tin box, no lid, and I threw a few pieces in there, and the lady bundled it. She said $4, so essentially I paid $4 for, or $1 for each piece. So this one's probably going to be the most valuable of what I picked up. So it looks like this. It's like a little aluminum tin, and you pull it out and it is a cup. So it's a collapsible cup. This would have been for travel. I guess it just goes like that. So it's a collapsible travel cup, and alright, so the sold comps on this was a struggle. I couldn't find the exact one like this. There were several that had like a decorative something decorative on the lid. This one doesn't. So they would sell, I think, anywhere from $6 to $10. But this one, maybe even more, some of the ones that were selling. But this one, I think I found a couple similar that were listed for about $4 to $6. So this is, I'll probably put this in the booth because, again, I like to have several small items. But put up. And this, I just thought she was cute. It's a little crocheted ballerina. I don't know anything about her. I just thought she was cute. She needs to be cleaned, but her face is made out of a different material. She looked really old, and I don't know anything about it, so I just grabbed her because I thought she was cute and threw her in there with the stuff I got. And then I picked up this spoon. I always pick up different, like if they're a different shape or they have something a little bit different. This one says trade, I can't read. It's NS. I have not looked anything up on it, but it's just an old spoon. And then this is just an old tin. It says made in England, but I picked it up because of the design around it. And I had mentioned before about one of these days, I'm collecting right now, but I'm wanting to make assemblages, and I thought this would make a great base for one to put things in to make little assemblage, because there's no lid to it, and it's decorative around the edge. So that's what I'll save that for when I ever start to work on those. Did find some books that I thought were in decent shape, and this one is Holly Hobby's time book, and it is copyright 1979, so this would have been a year old. So I liked Holly Hobby when I was little. I had a few things Holly Hobby, so I pick it up because I know that some of the things do well. I don't know if the book will, but I might have paid, like, I want to say 50 cents per book, something like that. And then this is an older copy of Little Women, and it has Roman numeral copyrights, and I had to look up that Roman numeral number MCMLV, and it is 1955. So it has a few illustrations in it, so let's see, it's a little bit older. So I don't know what the value is. I'll have to look that up, but I thought that was sweet. And then I have Best in Children's Books. So this is copyright 1959, and I'll just show you some of the graphics and illustrations in that. So this would be a compilation of several stories. You have Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves, Tom the Piper's Son, Mike Fink and American Tall Tale. There's several here. So, got that. And then I had never seen this book, How Fletcher Was Hatched. So, little puppy dog and an egg there. And its copyright is 1969. So, let's see. Anyways, I thought that was interesting because, like I said, I had never seen this book before, so I picked it up. Alright, so that's the haul. That will conclude the estate sale from the Carriage Cafe. So I appreciate you watching, and I hope to see you next week.